Okay, so I finally got this audio working. Now, this is going to be a quick video on position sizing and risk management. It's basically about showing you how to ensure that you know how much money you're risking per trade, and the amount of money you're risking per trade is consistent, predictable, and that way you know that you're not gambling. You're not putting money onto a trade and just hoping it goes up and not knowing what's going to happen if it goes down. Instead, you have a very clear plan, you have a very clear risk management system, and you understand exactly how much your trade could potentially cost you. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you this. So, we're going to use a demo account now. This has $100,000 in demo funds, and we're going to be risking 1% each time. I think it's a good way of doing it because it gives you plenty of room to take lots of losses without impacting your account too much, while still having enough room to grow your account quite significantly with good trading. So I'm going to show you how to do this. So we're going to risk $1,000 of $100,000. So let's just make up the trade because it doesn't really matter about the actual trade itself. Let's just say that I'm here and I want to take a trade around here. So I've just put this in here, and I'm hoping to make my stop below this low here. So I'm putting it just below here, as you can see. And I'm going to put my target for just above these highs here. Very simple. And it shows you here that your risk to reward is 1.22. That means that your profit is 1.22 times your potential loss. And so if I adjust this stop, it'll adjust the risk to reward ratio. Now they're almost equal. That's almost equal distance from my stop to my take profit. Now we call this R to R, risk to return. Now you want to try and target at least 1.5 to 2 R to R. Because if you do, that means that for every one loss you're taking, you should be also making around 150 to 200 for each time you hit your TP. And that makes it more viable. It allows you to take 2 losses for every 1 win. But let's show how we can actually control the exact amount of money we want to risk. So I'm going to adjust my TP. I know it. I'm going to adjust my here. I double click on this long position. It works for short position as well. And I'm going to input my account size, which is 100,000. Once you do this, so it does save it, so you don't need to do it every time. If you type in 100,000 here, next time you open it, it should have 100,000 already set up. Lot size just refers to how much like $1 on the chart is worth in real life. And you don't need to worry about that. It's just 1-to-1. It means that $1 here, like 102,900, means 102,900. For some stocks, there's a multiplier of like 10 times or 50 times or 2 times. But for crypto and for most things you'll ever do, just leave lot size to 1. Okay, the risk. This is showing you, using this position size, how much do you want it to calculate for your risk? So for this, it's saying that it's calculating $300 as my risk. So it'll give me the right quantity of crypto to buy so that I risk $300 if the price reaches my stop level. That's how much it'll cost me. And I'm going to change this from a fixed amount, 300, to a percentage amount, and I'm going to type 1%. Okay, and this should be the same as if I typed in 1,000 and cash. But this is just to show you how it works. This way it'll adjust dynamically to whatever you've typed into account size. Okay, so my entry price is taken from here. I don't need to touch that. My profit is taken from here. I don't need to touch that. And my stop is taken from here. I don't need to touch that. But it shows you the values, and you can adjust them if you need to, or type them in directly if you don't want to adjust this. Using the dragging feature, you want to type in an exact number. This is how you do it. Similarly, just so I want to make sure that my C has 1.02 and my risk to reward is almost equal. If I wanted to make it equal, I could do something along the lines of adjusting the amount of ticks so they're the same. And what ticks is how many dollars, like incrementally. How many of the smallest possible movements up are between here. So this is 15,000 or 153,220 ticks up to here, and then I just matched it down to here. So it's an equal distance. And you see the risk to reward is now 1. Okay. So let's say instead I wanted to make my stop below this, low here. If I adjust it to here, it would also adjust your risk to reward ratio. So by playing around with this, you can understand how having a tighter stop gives you a larger risk to reward ratio, so a greater amount of money that you're going to make when you do hit your TP. But it also means you have a closer invalidation point. If the price gets to this point, you'll exit out rather than this point. So it's about balancing and understanding whether you want to have more risk or more reward. Well, risk and reward, or less risk and reward, because they go together. Okay, now what I'm going to show you really quickly is how you actually turn this into a trade that you take that has the right amount of quantity to make sure that your risk is correct. So for some reason, this is bugging out and showing quantity is 0, which is not correct. What I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to open up TradingView. I'm not sure that you can see TradingView. Hopefully this works. I'll have to make another video. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just open up an example trade, and then we're going to load it up because for some reason the quantity isn't showing properly on Bybit, which makes it impossible to calculate your risk. Otherwise, here we go. Okay, so I've got the Bybit chart up because I'm trading on Bybit. And I want the Bybit perpetual futures. So you can sort it. So it only shows you Bybit. Yeah. So when you choose your Bybit, here we go. Okay. Sorry for that fuck around. Now let's just see an example trade. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, here we are. We went back to where we are. So let's say I want to make this trade here. Okay, we'll just go to there for the sake of the trade. Okay, so see how this is showing me the quantity. It says here 0.092. That's telling me that if I buy that amount of Bitcoin, it'll make sure that when the price hits here, it'll cost me $1,000, which is what I said before. Although this one is not quite set up correctly. This should be at 100,000. 100,000, lot size 1, risk 1%. Yeah, that looks correct. So now if you look, it'll tell me if I buy 0.915 Bitcoin, the quantity, it'll be risking $1,000. And I can confirm that and show that to you. So what I'm going to do is have a look at... There we go, here. So we're going to put a trade into here using the information that we got from here. So the entry price is 103.18. Limit, order price. I put this in. Okay. My profit and my stop. But before I do that, I put in my quantity 0.915. Quantity 0.915. So it's showing I'm buying $94,000 worth of Bitcoin. But I'm only risking $1,000 when it actually hits this level. Okay, for TP and stop loss, let's see, take profit. 104672 and stop 102088. And it says here expected loss $800. Actually, less than expected. It should be closer to 1,000. I'm not sure why that is. Strange. Yeah, it's getting closer though. But yeah, that should show you there that this is correct. Yeah, oh, that looks right. Now let's say I adjusted my stop to like down here, right? But I don't change the quantity. So the other quantity is now updated to show me that I need to reduce the amount that I'm buying in order to only risk $1,000. If I move the stop all the way down here, but I don't change the quantity, I won't be risking $1,000 anymore. And this is what happens if you move your stop. So people get scared they're going to get stopped out and they move their stop lower and lower. But what happens is you increase your risk more and more. Okay, so if I change my stop here, it's gonna cost me, there you go, 2.5K. So moving my stop down to here means I also need to update the quantity if I've done something like this. So just to demonstrate to you, the quantity is now 0.365. There you go. By updating this, I'm now again risking roughly $1,000. So this is why it's really important to make sure your quantity is correct when you take your trades, and that you're using your position sizing tool to calculate the correct amount of money that you're going to be risking. And you can always check it here with your expected loss and your expected profit to make sure that they seem about right. Cool. There you go.